Guys, today we're covering 712 rotations, which is another form of a transformation. It is a turn, and I can't spell turn, obviously. It is a turn around a fixed point called the center of rotation. This is normally the origin. For our purposes, it will be. Okay, so for us, it's going to be the origin, which is 0, 0. The figure rotates at a specific angle and direction. A rotation results in congruent polygons because all you are doing is turning the figure a certain amount. You're not changing its size or shape. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about what are the rules for rotating. When it's 90 degrees, okay, and we're always going counterclockwise. It's counterclockwise, which you'll see as CCW, counterclockwise. So when it says 90 degrees, that means we're going this way to the left, making like the letter C for counterclockwise. That's the direction that we go in. And our rule is, remember, we always start with the pre-image, which is the original. And what happens here is we switch the y and the x, and then we take the opposite of the new y. So we're going to kind of write this note here. Switch x and y, opposite of new y. All right, talking about 180. So we're starting here. That means we're going all the way to this spot here. So we have our pre-image, which is the original. And then the rule is it's the opposite x and y. Notice these are just the opposite. So therefore, a little note here, it's the opposites of original x and y. This will make more sense when we actually show the rotations. 270. That's going all the way around. It is also known as 90 degrees clockwise. It is the same as 90 degrees clockwise. 270 counterclockwise is the same as 90 degrees clockwise. Our rule is you switch the x and the y, but the x's are the opposite. So let's write our little note. Switch x and y, opposite of new x. All right. Let's put this into action now. Number one. First, we got to draw the figure, and our rule is 90 degrees counterclockwise. Well, the first thing we got to do is plot our figure first. Move this up. So we're plotting. We have 3, 7. And that is P. Q is 8, 1. R is 1, 2. Now, when we connect the dots, One thing that I'm going to show you that you might find helpful here, we'll just grab another one. You can take a light colored Post-it note, and I'm going to just that. Hold it down, and if you hold it down, you might be able to see it. You can definitely see it when you're looking at it. You can vaguely see it on the camera here. I wonder if I just zoom in a lot, will it show it? Barely, if I press it down. But when you're looking at the paper itself, you will be able to see the axes and the actual figure that is drawn. I'm gonna zoom out and assume and act like you can see this. Okay, so I am just going to draw out, trace this. There's the y-axis. There's the x-axis. And I'm just tracing my shape. This is P, Q, R. Now, what's going to happen is I am taking my shape and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise. That means I'm going to pick up my paper and my Post-it note, and I'm going to turn it 90 degrees this way. And then I'm going to line up so that the y-axis is now on the x-axis and the x-axis is now the y-axis. And now what I can see is, oh, well, what are these new coordinates? Well, Q is at -1, 8. Excuse me. P is at -7, 3. R is at -2, 1. Now, according to our algebra rule, the original should flip, because my rule says I flip the x and y, and then it's the opposite new y. So therefore, this 7 becomes the new x because they flip-flop. So this would become 7, 3, and then it's the opposite of the new y, which is negative. So this should be my new point. Is it? Yes. So you have two ways. You can either take the Post-it note and draw it and trace it around like that, or you follow your algebraic rule. So if we do the algebraic rule, we flip them. So this is going to become 1/8 with the 1 as being the opposite. R is 2, 1 with a -2, and that's correct. Okay, moving right along. We're going to look at number 2. First things first, our rule is 180. We got to draw both. Oh, I didn't draw the new figure over here because you have to graph and label, and we have to draw both. We have to graph and label the figure and its image. I didn't graph the new one because I did it on the Post-it note here. Okay, so we have to plot our new points. So this is -7, 3. That is R prime. P is, oh, this is P. I'm not paying attention to my labels. Okay, so Q is -1, 8. Q prime. And then R is -2, 1. And now we connect the dots. Okay. And there we go. And you notice that Q shifted 90 degrees up. P shifted 90 degrees over. R shifted 90 degrees over. Okay, next one, number 2. Plot the points real quick. 2, 3. There's W, 5, 8. That's X. Y is 7, 6. 2, 4, 6. And then we have Z, which is 8, 2. And we connect the dots. And next one. Now, based on the 180 in our algebra rule, it's just the opposite sign for the X and Y. So therefore, this is going to become -2, -3 for W. X is -5, -8. Y is -7, -6. Z is -8, -2. Well, since this is in quadrant 1, it should be located over here in quadrant 3 because this is 90, this is 180. So now let's plot the points. -2, -3. W prime, X is -5, -8. X prime. Y is -7, -6. Y prime. And then Z is -8, -2. And now we play connect the dots. And there's our 2 shapes. Last one. 270 counterclockwise, or what's also called 90 clockwise. All right, so first things first, we got to plot our points. M is 2, 4. N is 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. O is 8, 4. P is 5, 2. And we play connect the dots. And if you notice, we've got us a nice little rhombus. Look here. A parallelogram. All right, so now 270 counterclockwise. According to our algebraic rule, we switch the X and Y, and then the X is the opposite sign. Okay. Okay. So when we're looking at this, so this is going to become 4, 2, but this is a negative. It's actually not the new Y, it's the old Y, opposite of old Y, opposite of the old X. It's not the new. Okay, so N is 6, -5. O, it's 4, 8, and then the 8 is negative. P, it's flipped to 5, but that's a -5. So now we plot our points. So we have, and again, 270, this is 90, 180, 270. So it should be in this quadrant if it starts in this one. And 90 degrees clockwise is this way. So here we go, let's plot them. And I want to do this in a different color. Should have written those points in this different color, but I won't change. We'll plot it in a different color. Okay, so we have 4, -2. M is 4, -2. M prime. N is 6, -5. O is 4, -8. P is 2, -5. Excuse the bell, please. And there is our new figure. Okay, your next examples are just probably going to be examples of figures where it's going to overlap quadrants. It's not going to be located in just one quadrant. Pay attention to your algebra rules. Have a great day.